AMVA's Driver Standing Committee has been committed this year to improving and promoting safety, security, and service within driver programs. The Driver Committee has been there as our members navigate the new landscape presented by the pandemic, delivering new resources and keeping members engaged. The Test Maintenance Subcommittee and Idec Board worked to develop guidelines for safely testing license applicants during the pandemic from outside the vehicle. These temporary considerations aim to safeguard both examiners and applicants and comply with the Centers for Disease Control's social distancing requirements. AMVA's Cdl Driver History Record Working Group prepared a draft of their upcoming Best Practices document and is working on editing the document into a final form for review submission. The Best Practices Guide is expected to be presented to the board for approval in 2021. The Driver Committee continues work on Cdl Test Modernization, completing 2 pilot tests in Florida and New Hampshire. While the COVID-19 pandemic delayed field testing, we are now conducting field tests in New Hampshire, Virginia, and Maryland, and plan on completing the field testing of the proposed testing modifications in the fall of 2021. The Idec program continued to provide jurisdictions uniformity in training and driver licensing examination practices, accrediting driver licensing examiner training programs and certifying examiners who meet the program's standards. The 2020 Idec Examiners of the Year nominees have been posted to the AMVA website, including the 2020 Outstanding Examiner of the Year, Patricia Nelson of the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. These examiners are selected for their excellence in adhering to the principles and recommended practices of driver examining and for their high level of conduct in their profession. The Foreign Reciprocity Resource Guide Working Group has finalized the International Reciprocity Guide. The guide includes a new model agreement, due diligence worksheet, and verification form, as well as model evaluation and verification processes for members developing driver licensing agreements with other countries. And the Driver Committee also remains committed to helping jurisdictions design and issue secure credentials, both physical and electronic, working toward the ultimate goal of secure identities. The Card Design Standard Committee, made up of jurisdictional and federal government members, continued to support the 2020 AMVA DL ID Card Design Standard. The CDS provides for the design of driver's licenses and identification cards to improve the security of the DL ID cards and the level of interoperability among cards issued by all North American jurisdictions. The document provides jurisdictions with updated guidance on DL ID card design standards in order to provide a reliable source of identification and at the same time reduce a cardholder's exposure to identity theft and fraud. The joint MDL working group, comprised of the Card Design Standard Committee and the EID working group, continued to develop and refine guidance for members interested in pursuing a mobile DL. They divided into training, law enforcement, and testing subgroups. The training subgroup finalized a list of training modules designed to provide education for jurisdictions and other interested parties on the MDL ecosystem. The group has begun developing the first module intended to be available in late 2021. The law enforcement subgroup recently published an updated version of the Law Enforcement Frequently Asked Questions document that provides answers to the most common questions regarding law enforcement's use of MDL, while the testing subgroup has been busy providing recommendations and guidance for the development of the new MDL implementation guidelines, due to be published in late 2021. Over the last year, the Driver Standing Committee has worked to provide new solutions for AMVA members who are responsible for driver's licenses, making sure North America's drivers and their identities are safe and secure.